Hello again, Timberwolves fans. Are you ready for the explosion of Timberwolves basketball? Oh yeah, we are ready. Episode number 68, and the clapping you're hearing in the background, that's right, Marcus the Forecaster returning to Timberwolves Explosion for back-to-back shows. We're available on thesportstuff.com and on iTunes. I'm, of course, your host, Paladino Joey, and you got the Forecaster in the house once again. Well, technically you could call it Sunday, February 27th, 2011. And, of course, we're available. Well, we used to be available on Timberwolves Press, but we're having difficulty uploading on there, and we'll figure that out someday. Yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of things. The Wolves make a trade for Anthony Randolph. Surprise of the millennium right there. We all knew that was going to happen. Frustration, we didn't get Eddy Curry. Or we did get Eddy Curry, but we didn't do anything with him, at least trade-wise. But I guess that's just how it goes. We're going to pretty much start with all the whirlwinds of trades. I mean, there's some weird stuff going on. Of course, we're going to talk about Kahn and Rambis possibly on the hot seat, but then again, they're not on the hot seat, according to Rob Moore, Timberwolves president and CEO, all that good stuff. We've got a nice, interesting nugget on Brandon Roy that we're going to talk about as well. Very interesting there. And, yeah, the Wolves point guard situation, yeah, very good possibility. That's preventing the Wolves from winning some more basketball games, and it's pretty obvious this year, isn't it? And I'm also going to talk about the guy I'm already targeting for the Timberwolves in the 2011 draft. That's right, I'm targeting a guy very early this time. But now, since it's time to talk trades, and we can see a certain team that wears green and white in the background, made one of the most bizarre trades. I just... Are they trying to win a championship, or are they just... I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, Jeff Green... Yeah.
And neither do Celtics fans.
No, I mean, everybody's confused here. Everybody's confused, yeah. So the parameters of the trade, Jeff Green... And that's right, Jeff Green and Ned Christic coming to the Clippers, the Celtics. It's because the Celtics are playing the Clippers. Coming to the Celtics from the Thunder, and the Thunder received Kendrick Perkins and Nate Robinson. I just can't believe it. I understand it's not Chris Paul and Shaq in his prime or something like that, but these guys were integral parts to the Celtics playoff run last year. And Kendrick Perkins has been a piece, since the 2008 thing. What was the Celtics calling card for the last several years, or last couple of years since they won the championship? They never lost a championship with that starting five, and Kendrick Perkins was in that starting five. Now they can't use that anymore. I'm just miffed by it.
Yeah, I don't ever see any type of reason for that move. I mean, they're not getting anything in return, really. Just some guy who's inexperienced. They could have signed anyone off of waivers who would have been... I mean, I haven't seen a lot of games from Jeff Green, but I know that he wasn't a piece that the Bostons that you would want getting rid of Perkins. Trading away Perkins, you wouldn't say, well, I want Jeff Green. You want at least another, Prisbilla, if anything. Something that can replace what he brings.
Because, yeah, the thing is with Perkins, he's a great defensive player.
Yeah.
He's a huge rebounder. And what happened to the Celtics?
Center.
And he's a center, which is really rare these days. They got a center back, but it's Nene Kristic. He's weak.
Yeah.
He has no...
I don't know what...
Yeah. He's a softie. His defense is... There's no defense from Nene Kristic. And there's... The offense isn't that great either. It's like la-di-da, right?
Yeah, if you would think that they would have said at least give us Cole Aldridge or Ibaka, at least.
That's the thing. Why would you... See, Jeff Green is a really good player, and I really like him, but Kevin Garnett starts at the power forward position, which Jeff Green can play. I mean, Jeff Green's versatile, right? He can play three positions. He could be shooting guard, power forward, and small forward. But what are the big three, though? You got the shooting guard in Ray Allen. You got the small forward in Paul Pierce, the power forward in Kevin Garnett. So what's Jeff Green's role? Well, the world's greatest six-man. And you just traded away the one of the five that the calling card or calling claim, whatever the heck the word is for it, Doc Rivers and the Celtics always would say, we've never lost a series of the starting five. Well, that's gone forever and ever and ever and ever, or at least until Perkins comes back, if he does, but I doubt it. I'm just stunned by it. Now, I understand it's not our team here in Minnesota, but I'm just saying I'm miffed by it. And, of course, the Celtics, it's our second favorite team, so we kind of come up with it, and there's no law against having a second favorite team unless it's the Lakers. You just can't like the Lakers. You just can't. If you like the Lakers, you're either from L.A. or you're a front runner, as far as I'm concerned. I'm so mean. But that trade doesn't make any sense. Nate Robinson saved the Celtics' ass on multiple occasions last postseason. He really did. Like, Rondo got hurt a couple times. Robinson came in and just ran. I mean, he just caught fire, hit big shots. I was happy for the Celtics when they got Nate Robinson because he was getting buried on the Knicks bench for a really an unjust reason, I think. The guy's a 20-point scorer. He doesn't look like it, being like the little squirt he is, but he'll score 20 points a game.
Yeah, it wasn't even just that. You can tell that he just brought a lot even in the locker room.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he was positive. The Knicks, I'm still miffed by the Knicks buried him the way they did, but then again, they keep doing that with people. If D'Antoni isn't in love with you, he's going to bury you.
Yeah.
He did it to Darko. Darko's not exactly making us excited right now in town. So we're going to get to the Wolves here soon. Yeah, we're not really happy with Darko right now. But now the Wolves, if we could segue to this trade, I guess, if you don't mind. Or, you have anything else to say on the Celtics?
No, I'm pretty much done with them.
Yeah, it's pretty much, I really wonder how much their chances of beating the Lakers if they were to face them in the finals dropped with this previous trade.
Yeah, because Green's not going to be an answer.
No. He's just not. Maybe he's like Ron Artest, physical and everything. But, and Ron Artest was very valuable for the Lakers when they won their championship last year. Yet at the same time, he's probably just going to come off the bench. I can't think of any other scenario here that would make sense. So I'm a little frustrated because I would just be furious to see the Lakers win again, to be honest.
Yeah, and you're not giving up. And you're not giving the Lakers. I could see if they're thinking. This is what I believe, that either Ainge knew that Perkins was injured, thought that was going to be a problem, and that he wouldn't be there during the playoffs.
Yeah, out 2 to 3 weeks.
Or create some type of matchup problems, which I don't think is going to happen because if they play against the Lakers, you're either going to have Bynum, Gasol, and Odom on the floor at all times.
Yeah.
And Green's not going to play center.
No. He's only 6'8", maybe.
Garnett doesn't want to play center. You know that.
Nope. Yep. That's what he always did here. Yep.
So
refuse.
If Green's coming off the bench, is going to be as a power forward.
Yeah.
So
most likely, maybe a little small, but not much. A little bit. Yep.
Yeah. And will he stop Gasol? No.
No, he's too short.
Yeah.
Too short for Gasol. Way too short for Bynum, of course, as we know. It didn't make any sense. And you're putting all your eggs in, Kristich, who's not physical enough to handle anybody. Shaq, who's one, and I know everybody says the same analysis about everybody, but still, at his age, he's one slightly serious injury away from retirement. And Jermaine O'Neal already he should already be retired. The guy is done. Jermaine O'Neal is done. He is the most damaged goods I've ever seen. He is just depleted. He's gone. And Miami Heat had problems against the Celtics because of their multiple big men. I think that that's going to be not as much of an intimidation for the Heat anymore. Same with the Magic. It's going to be really interesting to see how things develop. It really, really is. It's going to be crazy. Yeah, we're seeing a little crazy image of Garnett in the background. We extended the Celtics conversation, but it's okay. I mean, it's the trade deadline, and we're giving our opinions on it. So let's get to the biggest trade of them all, and of course, because we're involved in it, we'll get to that part
first.
Or no trade. Yeah, that's the other part. The fact that the Wolves didn't do anything after this deal is where we're frustrated. We're not pissed, and we don't hate the organization,
Well, I'm pissed.
but yeah,
And I do hate him.
and you do hate him. Maybe a little bit, right? I mean, yeah, we got Anthony Randolph, and we knew we were going to get Anthony Randolph. We knew it. I mean, it was like the sky's blue. Let's call him the sky blue here. I mean, Anthony Randolph was going to be a member of the Wolves, no matter what happened. No matter what. It just was a guarantee. And we helped the Knicks get Carmelo Anthony. We helped the Heat get LeBron and Bosh. So what's next? We're going to help the... Who's the next one? Maybe we'll help the Knicks get Chris Paul, too, when we acquire Shucks. Who are we going to get? Maybe Fields or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see if... Yeah, it's basically what we did.
Yeah,
I mean, we
did
didn't
it again.
use Curry for a trade.
No.
We basically just helped them.
Basically.
Get Carmelo Anthony. And for what?
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly because so we could get rid of Brewer and free up time for Wesley Johnson, I suppose, and we got our Ramona Flowers. David Kahn dreams about Anthony Randolph. He's Ramona Flowers is to Scott Pilgrim, and Scott Pilgrim versus the world. I mean, that's what he is, or that's what Anthony Randolph is. He's, you know.
Yeah, but if you know the Knicks are willing to give up most of their team for one player, there should have been more coming our way. I think that we got, 2 second-round picks?
At least one for sure from Denver. It's
That's
really
not
late.
even enough. That's
yeah.
not even enough. We should have gotten something out of this.
I think
But
it's,
yeah, we got rid of Corey, but he was going to walk at the end of the season anyway.
Yep, he was going to walk for sure. And the one good part is at least we're not absorbing any salary cap issue. I mean, it's like we kind of are this year, but it doesn't matter because we can't sign anybody in the middle of the year necessarily.
Yeah.
And the other good part is the Knicks are paying off the remainder of the money going Curry's way. So that's the good part. They give us $3 million cash to cover it. Basically, it's good, but it's like we helped you get Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah,
and that's great.
If there are other teams willing to do this, then I could see kind of thinking, well, we might not be able to get Randolph. Mm-hmm. But I don't think there was. So we're helping them, and we could have said, look, without us, this deal isn't going down. So give us something else. Mm-hmm. But we didn't get anything. I'm thinking, okay, well, we might try to make some type of trade, use Curry as expiring, try to trade him before the deadline, and get someone in return, a shooting guard.
That would have been nice. Like somebody, maybe O.J. Mayo. I mean, that's a name that's been floating around forever, and he never got traded. That's the other part too. Like there were a lot of trades. Not only were there a lot of trades on the trade deadline, but there were a lot of trades that almost happened that didn't. Like Johnny Flynn to Houston is one. O.J. Mayo to Indiana is one.
I think we should have really tried to get Wallace.
Gerald Wallace went to Portland. That's kind of crazy. I can't believe he went to Portland
for scraps.
Like what did they get again? Prisbilla and I can't. Who was the other piece?
I think it was Picks.
Yeah, it was Picks. Yeah, Prisbilla for sure. And there was one other scrap, and it's not right in front of me, and I wish it was.
Prisbilla.
Prisbilla's another guy he's all right. He's a nice shot blocker, but he's damaged goods as well. Like he's been hurt many times. Last year, he hurt his knee twice. Like he injured it, and then when it was recovering, fell in the shower and completely started the whole injury over again.
we could have given them.
Oh man, yeah.
Actually, I would have given them Darko,
mm-hmm.
and a pick for Wallace. They might have taken it. We could have kept Curry, given Curry to someone else.
Mm-hmm. That wouldn't have been bad. Darko and a pick for Wallace. That would have.
Because right now, I wouldn't mind having Beasley coming off the bench. If we can have Wallace as a starter.
Mm-hmm. And the only thing I could think of that would maybe be a problem, but then again, not really, would be the center position. Because it would be even more thin than it was. Yet, still, I mean, yeah, Darko and a pick for Wallace, right?
Yeah.
As long as...
But at that point, we would still have Randolph.
Oh, we'd still have Randolph. He's like a forward center. You'd probably end up starting Nikola for a while, which would be really an adventure.
Actually,
or Kufos, but then again, he went to Denver. Forgot about that part. Yep.
Yeah, but actually, he's doing better than Darko right now.
Nikola, yeah, he is, because Darko is really going down the black hole right now. This is bad. It's a bad sign. It's the one thing we were warning you guys out there about in episode number 59, the one that was called A Very Negative Show. And we weren't meaning to be negative, but I mean, there's been trends with Darko. It's happened twice now. And fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me thrice, yikes. There you go. Fool me thrice, yikes. And, ouch.
No more season tickets.
Yeah. I'm not saying Darko's done, but he's really he's hitting a wall, and it's a bad trend we're seeing.
Yeah, you just can't miss as many layups as he's missed recently.
Yeah, his offense is horrendous. It's unspeakably bad right now. He can't make anything. He turns the ball over too. Though nobody on this team turns the ball over more than Michael Beasley.
Yeah, so again, that's why I would rather have Beasley coming off the bench.
Right now, if you had Gerald Wallace and Beasley on the same team and you had to pick one of them as a starter, it'd have to be Gerald Wallace. Yeah, it'd have to be.
Wallace,
he's just better than
that'll
Beasley.
Allow Love to play more on the perimeter and shoot threes anyway.
Yeah, he
that's
does.
going to allow Wallace to get the rebound if he misses, you know.
Yeah.
Because Wallace is aggressive. Mm-hmm. And that would have been perfect.
And he's a great defensive player, which Beasley and Love are not.
Yeah. And then we could have kept going. We could have used Curry's expiring to get something.
Anything right now. I mean, if it helped get OJ Mayo and maybe it'd be great.
I would love to have gotten Heinrich.
Kirk Heinrich?
Yeah.
He's expensive, but he's smart though.
But our defense
and he's defensive.
is so bad. Yeah.
And he's defensive.
Is so
yeah.
With those two upgrades, Heinrich and Wallace.
Hey, yeah.
Plus Randolph. Mm-hmm. But Randolph will be his. I know he has low IQ, basketball IQ.
Right now, yeah, definitely.
But if he learned a specific role, defend, block shots, you know, it's just instill fear in them, and then the team would be a lot better.
It would be. It's possible too because he certainly has the ability to block shots. Like there's a YouTube clip when he was a Golden State Warrior. The shot block that he put on, I forget who it was. It was somebody pretty good. Tyrese Thomas. He's not that good, but he's very athletic. Yeah. And when you see Randolph really out athlete Tyrese Thomas the way he did, and basically bent the guy in half, like he almost broke the guy's back on the block, and it was clean, and it was very impressive.
Yeah, right now I think.
Did you see that one?
No, I missed that one.
Okay. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was thinking that our second best shot blocker might be Johnson.
Wesley Johnson is. That guy's a good.
Yeah,
he's a good basketball player.
I think the way he's playing right now, by the end of the season, he might be the starter.
Yeah,
starting small forward.
And like full time. Yeah, because right now he is going to be the starting shooting guard, which that's nice that he's starting, but the position's a little off. I think.
Yeah.
It's not really who he is.
I think as this team has a problem doing that, playing guys out of position.
Mm-hmm. They've been doing it for years now.
Yeah.
Years.
And I would rather. Yeah, I would have him coming off the bench. Wallace the starter, then I'll have Beasley be the sixth man coming off to play power forward.
Mm-hmm. He could, or at least some small, or whichever. What drives me crazy is he can't rebound. In college he could, but not in the pros. Beasley, man.
Just imagine the defense. Heinrich, point guard.
Yeah.
Johnson, shooting guard. Wallace, small forward.
Wow.
Love, he's in there to score, the rebound.
Yeah.
And then Randolph.
And then Randolph, yeah. Especially if Randolph does develop into that guy.
Yeah.
Which is possible. He's not there yet, obviously, but who knows with him.
If you think if Rambis is anything like Phil, he'll want guys to have a role.
Yeah.
Now, I think for Randolph, it will be as a defensive athletic center.
Mm-hmm. And the ability's there. I mean, I do think the ability is there.
Yeah.
He showed it some last year with Golden State. He did. He does block shots. He can rebound, and he does have some offensive ability. D'Antoni, I'm sure he did some psychological damage to the kid, unfortunately. I don't think there's any doubt that he did, because when you throw a guy from who got decent minutes last year with Golden State to like 12th man and don't bug me, basically, like I'll get to you when I feel like it, kind of. That sucks. It sucks, especially for a guy that age. He went as far as to say it's nice to get out of, he described it as hell, like sitting on the bench. Like that's what he actually said. I don't know if he saw it in the article or little. It wasn't like a press conference. It was like a gathering. Remember how they all gather around the players sometimes? Yeah. That's basically what it was. That's the closest thing to press conference we had. He basically said, he got out of that hell. That's basically what it was. You're sitting on the bench and watching everybody else play. That would suck. I mean,
you would think that. Okay, well, I'm at least going to play in garbage time.
Yeah, and he didn't even get that, and that doesn't mean D'Antoni's a genius and Randolph is garbage. It means that for whatever reason, D'Antoni, who's very selective of his players, as we're learning as everybody's noticing, he just wasn't on D'Antoni's good side, I guess. Maybe it's because the Knicks don't play defense, and Randolph might have a little ability to play defense. So it's like, get on the bench, you bastard. You're not playing for my team. I don't want defense. That might be the red, huh? What do you think?
I'm really starting to believe everything Marbury was saying.
Like which particular? He did say
just the way D'Antoni is, that he had it out from since the beginning. As soon as he got there, let him know that he wasn't going to play in these.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I do believe that. I wouldn't doubt that for a second. We know he did it to Darko. It also makes you, it makes you wonder, really. It does. It's weird. It's really weird. D'Antoni. He's a good coach, but he's not a great coach, that's for sure. So how much better do you think the Knicks are going to get now, I wonder? Carmelo's.
I don't know. It seems like they believe that they're entitled to another superstar point guard. Mm-hmm. And I don't believe that the owners are going to let that happen. I think it would be bad for business.
At this point, it might be. And the one funny part about all that, the whole superstar point guard thing, in a lot of ways, you know what? They already have one. Chauncey Billups is a phenomenal player, I think. I mean, I love Chauncey Billups. Yeah. And he's embracing he's embracing New York right now. You could just tell, even though he's a Denver guy, he's from Denver, he wanted to stay in that organization, work in their front office. He always still can. I mean, I don't think that the Denver Nuggets are going to close the doors to Chauncey Billups once he retires. But Billups is playing some phenomenal basketball in New York.
Yes.
At least coming in, isn't he?
But I think that's his work ethic.
Yeah.
Because even though I know he's not happy about it, he's going to play his best wherever he is.
Yeah, he's a team guy. He plays with so much heart. And Chauncey Billups is one of my favorite players in the league. That guy can shoot. He can do everything.
I think if Ty Lawson plays better or Felton...
Yeah, Felton. That's another thing. That's another thing. And sorry about the distraction there, ladies and gentlemen. It was just a bell going off, basically. Ty Lawson starting at point guard for the Nuggets, at least for the time being. The $1 million question with Felton is he a product of D'Antoni's system? Like his massive improved play, or really is he as good as advertised? Like so far in Denver, it isn't looking so great. I mean, obviously you're a point guard coming into a whole new system, but
Well, actually, I saw Denver play Pistons, and they're looking pretty good, especially Gallinari.
Yeah, Gallinari blew up.
Yeah,
Gallinari blew up for the Denver Nuggets. Yes,
this trade looks like it was a bad trade for New York.
It may have been. I mean, you get one guy basically out of it. No, excuse me, Chauncey did go too. He's fantastic, but they gave up a lot.
Yeah.
The Knicks gave up. The Knicks gave up a Godfather deal. They really did. Gallinari. The $1 million question is he a role player or is he a star? And well, who knows?
I actually believe the Nuggets will win a championship before the Knicks.
You think so?
Yes.
That's a bold prediction, and
they're a deep team right now.
They're very deep.
They're a deep team.
If they keep both of their point guards, you can't lose.
We signed an A.
Yeah, and A has really been really good the last couple of years here.
And they
He's
have a
getting
lot
better
of
and
money
better.
right now.
A lot of money available.
Yes.
And if I was a player who wanted to change locations, that's a team I'd consider. I would, because you definitely have a point guard that can get you the ball.
Yeah.
In fact, how many do they have? That's right. They have 2.
Yeah, and Felton, he's a free agent in 2012. So they can trade him next season, as expiring.
They could, if they want to go that way, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what.
But exactly.
I'm thinking they'll trade, I believe, if there'll be another Carmelo. If Chris Paul wants to sign an extension or doesn't, or
that's coming up.
if he
very
decides
soon.
that he doesn't want to, but I'm not sure because they're owned by the NBA now.
Oh, that's right. The Hornets, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know
That's
how
really
exactly
weird.
that will work if he wants to get out of there. I don't know if there were another Carmelo incident.
It's
But
getting too
if
much.
he went to
Too much,
the Nuggets,
Yeah.
I could say that I think they'll definitely be better than the Knicks.
At that point, guaranteed. Yep, they would. Yeah,
Deeper team,
way deeper. Yeah,
same talent. I believe that they can do more damage than the Knicks.
yeah. Because the Knicks. What was the problem the other night? They got beat by Cleveland. The Knicks got beat by the Cleveland Cavaliers
Yeah,
the other night. That's right. And
Yeah.
what was the main reason? Well, 3 guys did really well. Chauncey Billups did great. Amari did really good. Carmelo had nice numbers. Oh, that's right. There's 2 other positions, and they all suck. Everybody else sucks on that team now. Fields is okay, but he's not that good. Who else? Oh, that's right. I can't really even hardly name anybody else anymore. Like, they lost all those nice role players, or better than role players, like Gallinari. Wilson Chandler's that really good player.
yeah. This
They're
is going to
gone.
be proof that if the Knicks,
They have no depth. They're
if
worse
they're
than the
not
Heat.
better
Way
from
worse.
now on than they were before the trade, you can't say, well, when they get Darren Williams or if they get CP3, they're going to be way better. Because Chauncey's not bad.
No,
Look at his
Chauncey's
numbers.
fantastic.
Yeah. So basically,
Fantastic.
they have a Darren Williams already.
Yeah, he's just older. That's all.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So this is their big 3 right now.
Yeah,
this is what
really
you get.
it. This is what you're getting. You need depth if you're going to win in this league. The Bulls, sure, the Bulls are the only exception in history because Michael Jordan is twice as good as LeBron James. He is. I know everybody's going to say, what is he talking about? Michael Jordan is twice as good as LeBron James. He just is. He was that good, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you that were not old enough to see Michael Jordan play with the Bulls, not the Wizards, the Bulls.
Yeah, and
my condolences that you didn't get to see it because he was that good. He was the one exception you could get away with not having much depth. And they had some, but yeah, like the Kerrs and stuff. Oh, but go ahead. I'm
and
sorry.
even though
Going too far.
I like watching games, the whole season. What it really comes down to is, can this team last 7 games
Yes.
against another team in the playoffs?
Like the Lakers, yeah. You have to be able to last against teams like
Yeah.
L.A. The Celtics would have if Kendrick Perkins didn't get hurt. They probably would have won that series.
Yeah.
That sucked that he got hurt, but that's part of the game, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know some are thinking, okay, well, Chauncey's old, so if they don't reach, but
Finals, yep.
yeah, but if
Or
Chris
whatever,
Paul was
yeah.
there, he's not going to play 40 minutes. For all those games.
Yeah, because it'll wear him out. It'll wear him out. Like, it's fun maybe the first couple of games, it's okay. But these guys get sick of it, though, when they play too much. Like, you often hear them complaining about it.
Yeah.
You often do. The Carmelos, I remember, I think some of the Miami players were already complaining about it. But it's like, dude, you be careful what you wish for. Yeah, you have your big 3, but you need other pieces. And Mike Miller ain't the answer, that's for sure. They were already shopping him. That's awesome. Dumbest contract signing maybe in history. A 5-year, $30 million deal for Mike Miller.
Well, that's a really bad move on their organization. He went there for less.
Mike Miller?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he was making more,
injured.
yeah.
He finally comes back, and then you just go and try to trade him.
That's funny. It's funny. It's like I can understand why you'd want to get rid of him. Yet at the same time as you're saying, yeah, it's a morale killer. Like now he's probably like screw that, you know. I got to think. So many trades, ladies and gentlemen, so many trades happened this week. One that, of course, Rusty of the Crossover did the first ever solo show in history for that show. I've done about 62, I think, 62 solo shows out of the 68. Forecaster is doing his 6th with me, which I love. It'd be cool if it was permanent, but schedules, you never know what's going to happen if the people scheduled, so, and the show must always go on. But, yeah. He did a solo show because Darren Williams arrived in New Jersey, soon to be Brooklyn, but yeah, New Jersey. The most surprising trade of the entire week, wouldn't you say? Maybe the last 3 years. That was shocking. Could you have dreamt a week ago Darren Williams would be a New Jersey Net?
No.
That was really something else. He's another guy who's eligible to be a free agent in 2012. You think he'll last? You think he'll last in New Jersey, or do you think he'll say screw this and quit? Or not quit, but leave. Excuse me.
I think so.
Think he's not going to stay?
If he was in Utah, then he might think about staying.
Yeah, because he was there.
With the Nets. If you're like again, if he came to the Wolves,
yeah, he would just get an attitude and want to leave.
Another thing is it's pretty sad. They're saying that he might have had a couple arguments with the coach.
Yep, Jerry Sloan left. Yep,
and,
quit.
Yeah, and Darren is the reason Sloan left.
Mm-hmm.
A couple days later, they trade Darren away.
They just trade him. Isn't that something?
And it's bad because if Sloan left because of Darren, you gotta think Sloan is shaking his head like I can't come back now because it's just gonna
make him look weird. Yeah, it's going to make him look like a quitter. Yeah. Like he beat me. Yep. That's tough, especially that guy was there since 1988.
Yeah.
1988. I bet you a lot of our listeners weren't even born yet or were in diapers then. Of course, we're definitely old enough to remember that year. But just saying, that is a long, 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 long time in a very microwave society where if you're not winning now, you're fired, you know? Utah did win from 1988 till today, pretty much, because they had Karl Malone and Stockton, and then Darren Williams and Boozer and blah, blah, blah. But still, man, oh man, to last as long as he did and to see him just go out the way he did was quite a shame, actually. That was too bad. 22 and a half years of coaching, and then just, I'm done.
Yeah. Hopefully the Wolves will give him a call.
You know, that would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That'd be quite fun. So Kurt Rambis, I guess would you like to segue into that or any other trades? I think we did cover most of the trades. Yeah, the ones that really matter. There was Shane Battier. I'm not even going to get that one. Isn't too big a deal really. We'll kind of leave that one as is. Aaron Brooks going to Phoenix for Dragic. That's cute. It could have been Aaron Brooks to Minnesota for Flynn. I can understand why Dragic would be a little more attractive than Flynn at this point. I think both of us can. So Kurt Rambis and David Kahn. Jim Suhan, as I posted on the Timberwolves group on Facebook. It's on the Facebook bar or whatever, the search bar. Type in Timberwolves Explosion, Minnesota Timberwolves. You'll find it right away. Join it. Would be terrific. Please post and comment on there. Also, don't forget about the call-in line, 209-736-7877, 209-736-7877. It's a voicemail. Do treat it as such. Mention you're calling in for Timberwolves Explosion and give your opinion, comment, shout-out, question, whatever. Talk trash. Okay, I don't think you need to, but there's no reason to. That'd be like kicking someone when they're down. But yeah, speaking of people that are down, the Timberwolves are down. They're 13-46. David Kahn says he's already done rebuilding, and yeah, we're already done rebuilding with a 13-46 team. Are you sure about that, Mr. Kahn? I mean, how frustrated were you when the Wolves didn't make that move? I mean, we kind of got into that earlier. We talked about it a lot, but still, it's still frustrating. The Wolves didn't make an extra move, but yeah.
Yeah.
Outside of Flynn for Brooks, which
we definitely should have made some kind of move, because just wasting Curry, that was a dumbass move.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. They just kind of wasted it. Sure, they didn't lose money. That's good, but it's an expiring. You could have maybe done something with it. A lot of people, Nate Lindholm posted on my page on Facebook asking, yeah, I mean, this was probably leading into another move, right? Was basically what he said. And it's like, you hope so, but nothing came. Nothing came. It doesn't sound like they really even tried. And it's a little discouraging to us. Just a little bit. Again, not trying to be negative, but hey, you have a chance to get better, and you don't. So, great.
That really was an opportunity to get someone.
There had to have been something. There had to have been.
Yeah, because you look at how the Blazers got Gerald Wallace. You think?
Yep.
We could have matched that.
Yeah, that's the guy we could have probably gotten for Eddy Curry. I think, yeah. Gerald Wallace makes something kind of in that price range, probably a little less. Maybe get another piece in from Charlotte. Mostly just maybe a bum, just to kind of fill in, to fill in the money to do it. But then again, the Wolves can absorb whatever. No, it would have to be Charlotte would have to. So excuse me, but somebody else to kind of match the salary. Because I believe Curry's 13.7. Wallace, he's probably a bit less than that. I'm still miffed that Curry was ever given that amount of money in a season. That's amazing, but he won't be for long. He won't be for long. So really, if you were the owner of the Timberwolves, would you be? Do you think Kurt Rambis and Kahn are in trouble right now, or or do you give them one more year, or do you think not necessarily?
It depends on if I'm tight with my money.
Mm-hmm.
If I am, I would like what. See, actually, let me skip to this. This is what I believe right now.
Yeah.
That Taylor wants to save money right now because he knows what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Losing lots of money,
yeah. That's why we didn't. There might be a reason why we just let Curry walk.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably trying to save money.
Yeah, because he knows what's going on. Right now.
Yeah.
And he knows what all the other owners are planning.
Yeah, and this whole lockout situation is looming.
Yeah, so he's probably thinking right now isn't the time to be adding a salary, even though the guys out there that we could get and use. Mm-hmm. He's probably thinking right now that's not something that's in his wallet's best interest.
Mm-hmm. And that's partially. I mean, there is always that right now, and Taylor did lose a lot of money, especially during the Garnett era. He made money during the Garnett era, some, but at the same time, he's never been known to be a tightwad. So it's like in a time when the team is losing tens of millions of dollars per season, not over a couple years, but they lost $20 million each of the previous two seasons. I have no idea how much they're losing this year. Probably around the same range again. Unfortunately, that's a lot of money to lose.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if you're worth $2 billion. You lose $20 million. $20 million is $20 million. That is a lot of money going down the black hole that you will never see again. Just gone. And that sucks. That sucks. I mean, I can understand why you'd want to make some renovations at Target Center in that sense, too. So it's like you can understand what's going on, but I guess as a fan, the frustration does mount. It's like you want to get better, and it's getting harder and harder. The product, the roster's more attractive than it was a year ago, and it's way more attractive than it was 2 years ago. Visually, yep. Wesley Johnson is a lot better than Corey Brewer. Webster, well, I thought I liked him. Now I'm getting to turn on him a little bit.
Yeah, on paper, the roster looks better, but seeing the product on the court is I don't want to spend money on the Wolves
right now. Yeah, that's the thing.
With the moves that
most
are being
of the fans
made
are saying that
and not made, it's kind of like I wanna pay for a team that I know is going to win at the end of the day. And if they're like the Suns, you watch the Suns, you know the Suns were exciting back
yeah,
then.
Yeah, to just not long ago.
Even though people say, well, this type of basketball doesn't win championships.
Yeah, run and gun. Yep.
They won games.
Nelson.
At the end of the day, they won games.
They did,
and we're not doing that. So,
we're not doing that.
Even though our pace is fast, we're not winning games at all, and we're winning them badly.
We're the thing is, we've been in position to win so many games this year, and then it always ends up to be just another loss to throw in the bag. It's so frustrating. Like the whole Luke Ridnour with 7 seconds left, volleyballs the ball. Okay, just volleyballs it in the air for no real reason other than he panicked. Like there was 0.7 seconds left when it actually was 7 seconds left. He just flung the ball in the air, like beyond anyone's understanding. It's the lack of clutch play is one of the main reasons this team is not getting anywhere, not making any progress in the win-loss column. They're in more games than they were last year. They're not getting crushed 152 to 100 like they were last year, but yeah, they're giving up points still. But they're not finishing games, and part of that does come on the coach. A big part of that comes on the coach. It does, because when it's the same mistakes happening over and over and over and over and over and over and over, it has to come to the coach at some point, because the coach needs to get his players to stop making those same mistakes. I mean, wouldn't you? It's incredible how many of the same things you see, like the same dumb offensive sets coming out, say with 7 seconds left, inbound the ball. Oh, nobody's open. Boom, just jack it up, or wait till the last second where you have to fling it up because there's no time left. There's no organization on this team late in games. They wait too long, or they don't wait at all. There's no friendly medium. And you know what the best part about all this is, though? Something that Kurt Rambis says virtually after every game, especially games when they get hammered, right? What does Kurt Rambis usually say? Is we didn't really give the proper effort tonight, and he says that almost every game.
Yeah, it does.
And what does that tell you? What does that tell you? Like, if you're the coach and you can't get your team to give the proper effort, that tells you something ain't working. And if something ain't working, well,
he has to go.
It means that he's on the chopping block, quite frankly. I mean, this can't continue. It has to change. This team has to give him the right effort, or he has to go. That's how it works with any coach in any sport.
Yeah, I think because he was with Phil for so long, you kind of give him the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you just put it on the players thinking that it's just, because they're young. They're a young team. And
yep, it definitely is an excuse, because they are the youngest team in the league, and we got another 21-year-old here. But it's the whole crutch thing gets really old when coaches use such things like that as a crutch all the time. That's where the frustration comes in with fans and with guys that are kind of a little bit beyond the fandom, like where we are. We're a little bit more experienced. We're more seasoned, you could say. Not that saying fans don't know what they're talking about. Just saying, we're a little more seasoned. We watch it closer than your average fan. We do. We really can't call us your average fan. We're really into it. We'll say we're more hardcore. We'll say hardcore, and we've been around a long time. But Kurt Rambis, though, I got to think one way or another. Now, in the Sid Hartman column, Rob Moore, the president and CEO of the Wolves, I may have already said this earlier in the show, but just in case I didn't, said that Kahn and Rambis will return next year. And I can understand why, in a sense. I mean, usually 3 years is a good gauge when you're trying to really change a team into another direction. I mean, when you go from Dwayne Casey to Randy Whitman, I'm not really going to give Whitman as much of a leash as maybe Kahn and Rambis, because Whitman was horrible. Whitman was horrible. There's no doubt about that. And it was the same general manager at the time, who was Kevin McHale. Okay, vice president of basketball operations, if you want to be technical. But everybody goes with the generalizing term of general manager. Yep, and David Kahn is president of basketball operations, but everybody goes with general manager because he's like the basketball boss, even though he's beginning to wonder how much he knows about the sport. We're beginning to wonder sometimes. Okay, I'm rambling too much. So, any other thoughts you have, Kurt Rambis?
No.
Any other thoughts? I mean, one more year, I guess. They come out
That's why I'm giving them one more year.
One more, yep. That's where I'm standing too. If they're at the same point again next year, or anything near it, fired, over, done. You will see the title, Timberwolves Explosion. Let's say it's episode number 86 or something. Kurt Rambis has to go. That'll be the name of it. If we're at this point in February 2012, Kurt Rambis needs to go. So with that, Shucks, you mentioned, we have a couple more things to talk about. There be interesting stuff coming up. So what did you hear about Brandon Roy? Let's let something about Brandon Roy. Very
Apparently,
interesting.
With low playing time and
What was it, 9 minutes a game, you said?
yeah,
Wow.
somewhere like around 9 minutes a game.
9 minutes, folks.
He has 2 years left on his knees.
And that's what that's like who made that statement? Was it this doctor?
Yeah, apparently that's what the doctors that he saw said.
Wow.
That he can't play for long periods of time, and if he does, that's just taking more time off the knees clocks.
And even with the minimal playing time, we're talking 2 years.
Yeah,
Even with.
yeah.
See, that is remarkable. I mean, think about how things change in such a short matter of time. Shucks, people looked at the Portland Trailblazers as the Oklahoma City Thunder before they were the Oklahoma City Thunder. Because Brandon Roy, everybody kept labeling him superstar, which I thought was overrating him a little bit. I think he's more of a glorified Ray Allen, quite frankly, at best. But even at his best career. And then you had Greg Oden come in, number 1 overall pick. Higher touted than Kevin Durant, folks. Yeah. And he's been nothing but injured. Look at Brandon Roy. Went from a guy who was close to a superstar, but he was never going to be that good, but up there, somewhere in there, the second-tier star range maybe. And, shucks, he's being reduced to almost nothing. Look at the Portland Trailblazers, ladies and gentlemen. Whew. Proof that things don't always work out as planned, and that has nothing to do with the Blazers making dumb moves. It has to do with bad luck. And that is remarkable to think how far Brandon Roy has fallen in such a short time. The interesting part is, McHale's reason for trading Brandon Roy was that he was concerned about his knee condition. Now, this never came out until recently, like funny how you hope that isn't just some type of convenient excuse brought up to defend McHale, but I don't think he really needs to defend himself when he's not even working for an NBA franchise right now. He's working for NBA TV and TNT, which are kind of merged a little bit. But it makes McHale look a little better. It does, in the whole Randy Foye trade. Foye sucks too, though. Roy doesn't suck, but he's screwed, unfortunately, the poor guy. But yeah, we thought we had to bring that up real quick. Well, I guess we're going to close on a little more Wolves talk right here and now. The Wolves point guard situation. Now, people are going to make fun of the Timberwolves and David Kahn and all that stuff whenever we say, well, he's going to take when the draft rolls around, he's just going to take 2 more point guards to add to the other 19 they have. Well, here's the thing, folks. You're going to add a point guard to this team because the current point guards on the roster can't play. That's why you got to add point guards. The problem is, how many more times does David Kahn have to screw up when he picks point guards? That's what I'm getting frustrated with. Ramon Sessions was awful with the Timberwolves. And
I was surprised.
Terrible. How horrible was Ramon Sessions last year? And how good has he been with Cleveland this year?
Yes, that's another thing.
Wow.
That kind of reflects on our coaching.
It absolutely reflects on the coaching. Kurt Rambis, if you're listening. Yes, it does. The triangle destroys point guards. It does. Heck, it even ruined, well, not ruined, but it certainly didn't utilize Gary Payton over in L.A. It really didn't, actually. Payton looked awfully old and slow and incompetent with the Lakers with his 1 year there. He looked awful with them. Ramon Sessions was very valuable with the Bucks. Never going to be a star. Was very valuable, explosive with the Milwaukee Bucks. Comes to the Wolves, was virtually useless. That was what you used in episode 58. I love listening back to those episodes because they're just awesome. And shucks, it was true. Sessions was virtually useless last year for the Timberwolves. And he has been awesome with the Cavs. Now, I know the Cavs are terrible, but when you look at their roster, shucks, they're a lot better than their record, I think. And Sessions is putting up great numbers in Cleveland. And I don't think it's a coincidence that he was doing good in Milwaukee and Cleveland, but not in Minnesota. Again, Kurt Rambis, that's another red flag for Kurt Rambis' offense. It doesn't work. What's the most important part about an offense? Well, being able to run it, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, we have no one who can do that correctly.
No. Like, other guys score in the offense, sure, but the point guard is the man that runs the team late in the game. If you don't have Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Kobe Bryant on your team,
yeah,
well, you're kind of left in a bad position. And unfortunately, Kurt Rambis is in a bad position right now. Yeah, he's in a bad position right now. His team is too young, inexperienced, and not talented at the right positions to run the triangle. So, Kurt Rambis is in trouble. We're coming back to that again. Because how many more point guards need to fail in this offense before we need to make a change? Shucks. I mean, yeah, we're giving him one more year, but I'm talking like a calendar year, not another season. You know what I mean? A calendar year, folks. That means he would get, if the Wolves had the same record next year or anything close to it, you know, same problems, I would fire him. I would fire him by January of 2012 if we're in the same position. If that, maybe December. And no, that's not because I'm a mean guy who wants to put somebody on the streets in Christmas. Kurt Rambis wouldn't be on the streets, by the way. He'd be still as wealthy as ever. Because he'd still get the money from his contract. That's how it works. But that's how it works. You love that line, don't you? Well, I've been going for a while here. I'm sorry. Do you have any comments to that? Any
No,
thoughts?
I agree with everything you said.
Yeah, I mean...
we definitely need... We should give Kurt one more year.
Yeah.
Try to do everything we can to get a competent point guard.
A competent point guard, yeah.
A shooting guard.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't, I won't be on the show nearly as much.
No, I mean, and of course, no, that's just a classic line, classic forecaster line right there. But that's where we stand right now. That's where we stand. And again, it's not about trying to be negative. We're not trying to have a negative outlook on the team. It's about, I mean, shoot, we're frustrated. The team needs leadership on the floor. They need a point guard who is competent. They need a point guard that can make this team better. Because you know what, folks? As frustrated as we are with the team, as negative as we may sound,
we're fans first.
We're fans first. And you know how much... Think about this. You know how close this Timberwolves team is to being actually extremely competitive if they had a competent point guard.
Yeah.
Now, drafting 2 point guards in one night is one thing. Signing 2 others is another. Because right now they don't have a competent point guard. Will Rubio ever play here? Well, that's a mystery of the universe. And even if he does, it's another mystery if he'll be as anywhere near as advertised.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know how good he's going to be. If he's great, then wonderful. But if not, you got to have another solution. And when the team continues to fail late in games because they don't have leadership on that floor, you need leadership on the floor, not just the coach, but you need a point guard that can run this team.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was hoping Brooks would have been.
Aaron Brooks?
It's a backup plan. If from Rubio, because obviously Flynn isn't working.
No.
And it feels like we picked him just because he had a nice smile.
Yeah, I mean,
good interview skills. Other than that, he hasn't. He's never showed anything to me. I don't.
Just not.
He's just not doing anything here that I would consider keeping him long term.
Johnny Flynn, no. I mean, and God, did I love him at one point in time. And in a more open offense, who knows how successful Johnny Flynn will be. Anything could happen. Right now, I think he's a decorated backup in a good offense. Unfortunately, that's probably what he's going to be. And, even on a offense that fits him better. Right now. Yeah, I mean, you never know.
Any other player who's introduced to the team as someone who basically, we're talking about his personality. Nothing about how he's a good shooter, good defender. Mm-hmm. It's basically how good he is at interviews.
Yeah, and that's just not enough. It's not enough.
It was all about his personality. It had nothing to do with his actual basketball skills.
Mm-hmm. He seems like and he does seem like a great guy. There's no doubt about that. But sometimes you need to be able to play a little bit. Now Flynn does have quickness, and really when he does get a chance to play, his passing skills. There are more passing skills this year than there were last year, but the turnovers are as high as ever, folks. They are high. The guy turns the ball over almost as much as he gets assists. I mean, it's terrible.
I would say that his passing skills aren't any better than Telfair's.
Mm-hmm.
They're worse. Actually, to me, they're worse.
And they are, yes. They are worse than Telfair's because both of them make, they probably try to be a little more flashy than they need to be. Yet one of them gets turnovers and the other doesn't.
Yeah.
That's the difference between Telfair and Flynn. Now, Flynn's more physically gifted than Telfair, and that could translate into a nice penetrator in the future in a more open offense.
Yeah.
Johnny Flynn is a penetrator. That could really turn into something later, somewhere, either a different system here in Minnesota, maybe Rambis opens up the offense next year, or we get a different coach, or Johnny Flynn goes to the New Orleans Hornets to help replace Chris Paul. Who knows what's going to happen with all that? But as of right now, it's not there, and it's frustrating. Telfair was a solid point guard for this team. He's not going to lead us to the promised land, unfortunately. We know that, but better point guard play would be nice right now on this team. Right now, I mean, yeah, we looked at Raymond Felton, possibly if Ricky Rubio did not want to come here, and the Knicks were the option because that's who he wants to go to, supposedly, according to a lot of people. He's not going to Boston or Miami because the Celtics have Rajon Rondo. That ain't happening. Why would Rubio be on the Celtics when they have Rajon Rondo? That's insane. That's stupid. So that's done. Miami doesn't have the proper value coming back to us if we traded him to Miami. So that's done. But now the Knicks are done too. They're done too because now they're just like Miami. They're not going to give us the 36-year-old Chauncey Billups and for Ricky Rubio because that's about how old Billups will be soon. No, he's about 30, almost 35. Excuse me. Yeah, we're not going to do that. So the Knicks thing is out. Unless you'd have to get a third team involved. Maybe we still pursue Raymond Felton from the Nuggets, another Knicks thing, but I don't know if the Knicks could give Denver anything else. That's another problem. So if I'm David Kahn and I want a certain player on this team that would fit, if you really are sold that Kurt Rambis is the right coach for this team, there is a point guard that does exist that I think could be extremely successful for this team. And how many times have we mentioned his name? How many times have we mentioned his name on this show? I think this would be the third show now we've brought his name up about how he'd fit in perfect with his team. He was on the draft board. I'm getting it mixed up. 25th or 20 or 18th pick, I believe. 21st pick, excuse me, in the 2009 draft. Was picked by the Wolves in a prearranged deal with the Denver Nuggets. Ladies and gentlemen, the best player to come out of North Carolina in I don't know how long. Ty Lawson. I'm on the phone with the Denver Nuggets because they have Raymond Felton. What do you want for Ty Lawson?
Yeah, we should have.
Yeah.
We should have got him back. I forgot all about that. I don't know why. Yeah, we should have got him back.
It kind of went over our heads, didn't it? I mean,
we gave them Kufos.
we gave him Kofos, hey, you know.
Okay, give us Ty.
We give us, we'll
give you Flynn. Or Ridnour.
Yeah. I mean, that would be part of it, yeah. I mean, then maybe a pick, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, that might be too much, but
maybe.
Maybe.
Just keep your pick.
Yeah.
Give us Ty. We'll give you Luke.
Give us Luke.
I
mean, it depends on how sold they are on Felton, but maybe if they're obsessed with Ty Lawson, maybe we could get Raymond Felton, maybe. But I'm telling you, Ty Lawson.
I think that ship sailed, though.
Yeah, when it comes to Raymond Felton?
No, with Lawson.
Even getting him?
Yeah, because now we got to give them Ellington a pick, maybe. But during that time, it was, a big trade going on. So it would have been easier to get Ty out of the deal.
That's true, yeah, because at that time, that was the time to really up your negotiations. Yeah. You're getting Raymond Felton. We'll throw in Flynn or a Ridnour and other pieces. Maybe Ellington. And I'd be more than willing to give up Wayne Ellington if it meant Ty Lawson's coming back to Minnesota. Especially if you have Webster and Wesley. Of course, I mean, I like both of those guys, but I'd be willing to throw in Webster. Wesley Johnson is staying on this team if I'm the general manager. He's staying.
Especially after the last game.
Yeah, you're seeing signs from the guy. He's got long-term potential on this team. Yeah. I don't think he's the next... I don't think he's Carmelo Anthony. Well, yeah, but he's a better defender than him. But you get the idea. I want him here. I like Wesley Johnson a lot more than I did going into the draft. I'm very happy with Wesley Johnson. He's a better defender than the whole Syracuse curse that people spread around that Syracuse Orangemen can't play defense. And yeah, that's about 99% accurate. But Wesley might be one of the few exceptions in that deal. But no, Ty Lawson. The ship may have sailed, but then again, you never know. They have 2 point guards that are very young, 2 point guards that deserve to start on most teams, and I try to get Ty Lawson if I'm sold on Kurt Rambis. And even if I'm not sold on Kurt Rambis, there's proof that Ty Lawson can succeed in other offenses too, because George Karl's a lot more open than Kurt Rambis. And he looks wonderful, doesn't he? And Ty Lawson is a wonderful point guard, and that's who I want running this offense if we can't get Ricky Rubio right now, if possible. I want him. I want him, and I'm calling the Nuggets tonight, at 1 in the morning on a Saturday night / Sunday morning. I'm calling the Nuggets for Ty Lawson.
Yeah,
that's how much I want him here.
At this point, we might as well wait and see if we can get Darren Williams if I can adopt that happen.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, you have the cap space, but if he's complaining about going to the Nets / Brooklyn, I mean, Brooklyn would be kind of fun, I think. Be kind of cool. Depends on how you feel about New York and all that, market and stuff. It's different. It's just a whole different culture over there. It's mean. It's a mean place. You succeed or you die in New York, period. That's why Marbury lost his mind, because New York City is harsh. Even though that's where he's from.
And then Tony had a hand in it.
And D'Antoni absolutely had a hand in it. D'Antoni might as well work for the media, because he's pretty harsh too. We're bouncing around a little bit, but at the same time, this is all tied into the Timberwolves for the most part, and some other trades. I mean, this is a lot of stuff to talk about, and it's a lot of fun. Anything else you'd like to add at this point? Because, I mean, one thing, final little topic, it's small, and we could call it a night. Again, being I'm not sold on Ricky Rubio, on him coming here or being successful. I'm not sold. I hope he comes here, and I hope he's the next Steve Nash ×2. I hope he's the next, greatest. I hope he's the best point guard that ever played this game if he suits up for the Timberwolves. I hope and pray to God that's what happens. But the odds of that happening are unknown at this time. So with that said, there's a really nice player that plays for the Duke Blue Devils that some experts have come into the Wolves, which would, again, for like the 9 millionth year in a row, would be the number 2 pick if the balls bounce as they're according to, which never happens ever. There's always some big market team that's supposed to pick ninth that ends up with a number one pick, and then we slide down to fourth or fifth. That's usually what happens. But if that doesn't happen, and this young man, who unfortunately has missed a lot of time this year in his young freshman year for the Duke Blue Devils, if he's available, and if he's anything from what they're saying and what we've been able to see in the small time he's gotten to play, Kyrie Irving is my pick in 2011. Point guard of the Duke Blue Devils. He's by far the best point guard in this draft, and I love him, and that's where I would lean. I mean, what would you like Kyrie Irving on this team? What I mean, we haven't gotten to see much, but if he's somebody, if he's anything what they're saying, I mean, I got to think he'd be a perfect fit for this team coming into the draft.
Coming into the draft, we need to draft a point guard.
And he's by far the best available. And you got all these other power forwards, small forwards. Do we need more of that on this team right now? I mean, you got Beasley and Love already, so it's kind of.
It's right now,
unless you trade Beasley, but
if they're for sure, if a point guard is a sure first pick,
first top 2, 3, yep.
Yeah, then I would use a pick. If not, I would trade the pick and try to trade for someone.
Yep, maybe in a package deal to get Lawson and other parts. Maybe Lawson and Mayo or something. Who knows? Maybe somebody they just fall in love with someone in the draft and they'd be willing to give up a lot. Maybe you could package a pick and other players and wind up with Lawson and Mayo. That'd be kind of cool, actually. Because I'm going to keep talking about O.J. Mayo because his stock is really low right now, and the Wolves could use a nice, true shooting guard on this team to go with a nice, true point guard. O.J. Mayo's the pick for me, if possible. His attitude's in the wrong place, but since we're the ones that like to be Dr. Frankenstein and fix up players, like Darko Milicic and Anthony Randolph, let's throw O.J. Mayo on the table. O.J. Mayo on the table, that was a good one. O.J. Dijonais, yep. Dijon mustard with mayonnaise mixed in. Yes, to go along with that curry in Stefan. Okay, no, that's not good. I'm sorry. Well, no, the Eddy Curry is not working out. It's kind of stale, and we're going to have to throw that one out. But, yeah, the other one's pretty good. So with that, shucks, I think that's about it. I think that's about it for tonight. It's been another fairly long show, and it's been a lot of fun recording this. It is always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to have Marcus the Forecaster, a member of the show. Yep. And yes, we want more point guards in Minnesota, Rusty of the crossover. Yes, we do. Because we don't have point guards here. They all suck.
Very low quality.
Very low quality, and they're not working in the system. And the one guy that really for sure I think fits in the system is Ty Lawson, and we need him. That, or maybe we could give Kyrie Irving a try. I'd rather do that than screw around anymore. Let's get the right point guard in the system now.
Either that or change the system.
Yep, either that or change the system, change the coach, change everything. Again, we're rebuilding. Just like the commercial would have said a year ago, we're going to add another to that rebuilding in the subject line there. Just like when you send an email, the same thing, hey there, it goes to like 19 re's. That's where the Wolves are right now in the rebuilding stages. Kevin Love voiced his opinion about that, saying how I don't want to go through that again, and how we have the same record as last year again. He's getting sick of it, and who could blame him?
Yeah, that's another big thing. The way this is going, unless we start winning more games next season, I really don't think Love will be here.
Love could be on his way out by his choice, not because we say get him out of here. I don't want him to leave anymore. I love him now, but hey, there's no doubt he's frustrated, and that's pretty much what you read about today in the paper and other articles. I mean, the guy is not happy right now. He's not unhappy with the organization. He said he likes the organization, wants to be here, but he's not happy with the result. He's getting tired of it, and as fans, we're getting real tired of it. Fans and gurus, whatever you want to call us. We're kind of gurus, you could say. I enjoy that label. So I guess that was a final little extra mini topic thrown in at the end. We're not trying to be negative, guys. We want to win. We want to win so bad, and we're trying to come up with ideas. And we want some discussion out there, guys. We need it. The Facebook group, remember that. Timberwolves Explosion Facebook group. Post your opinions on there. Call into the phone lines, 209-736-7877, 209-736-7877. And don't forget about the message boards on thesportstuff.com. There's a button in the upper right-hand corner that says TSS Boards. Simply click on that, then register, which, there's a small link that says register. Get a screen name that makes sense. Don't make it a bunch of jumbled stuff because, most people assume it's spam, and then the account will be deleted. So have it say, I want Lawson. That would be a nice one right there. I should create a fake account that says I want Lawson or something. For Minnesota, Lawson for MN, something. We need Ty Lawson on this team. Yeah, we do. But or Kyle Lowry, who I'm obsessed with. And look at him on Houston now. Kyle Lowry looks great on the Houston Rockets now. So I was right about him for years. I've loved Kyle Lowry for about 4 years now. 3 years. No, yeah, 3 since Kevin Love first got here. But I'm jumping around too much. The message boards, you can discuss all that stuff you want on the message boards on thesportstuff.com. There are more NBA fans on thesportstuff.com than any other sport. So if you want to talk basketball with a lot of really cool guys that aren't going to give you crap, they're just going to talk basketball with you. They know what they're talking about. Get on there and talk to them on thesportstuff.com. Would be terrific. If also, if you could, rate Timberwolves Explosion on iTunes. You're a fan of the show, you like it? On iTunes, simply go on there, give us a nice rating, and say what you like about the show. Maybe give us suggestions on how to improve it. That'd be cool. Just don't say that Joey has to go. No, no. Hey, all of you have an opinion. I'm hoping you wouldn't listen to the show and think I gotta go, but because I really love doing this so much. But with that, we are going to call it a night. Thanks again to the forecaster. Hope to have him on more and more and more.
Thank you for having me.
Always, always, always. That's pretty much a wrap for episode 68. We will see you for episode the number before 70 on the next show. Take care, everybody.